Hello and welcome back to the Hype Bulletin, hosted by yours truly, Ralph Mentor. Now, if you guys are again watching on the YouTube side, please press on that subscribe button. If you guys are listening on the podcast platform side, like Apple and Spotify and Overcast, leave us a rating and add us to your library for any past, present, and future episodes. I knew I should have taken a swig of some water before I started, and I'll probably do that in the middle of the episode. But we are entering NFL Divisional Round and all, including the New England Patriots. What a shock. What a shock and all. But the results, well, yeah, going into the NFL Divisional Round, I will be reacting, obviously, to the NFL wildcard games this past weekend. All pretty exciting we'll call it weekend outside of maybe the Pats game and all, because it was the largest margin of victory and all, 16-13, mind you, was the score and all too as well. And then obviously I'll preview the NFL Divisional Round games and all, including the New England Patriots and all too as well. And I'll also, the Red Sox made some little news today and all, so I'll dive into that a little bit. The college football championship game. I'll probably be recording after the game on Monday, so I'll have a little something there and all, and have a little Celtics check-in and all too as well and all. But first, gotta react to the NFL Divisional Round games. At least you have the Rams beat the Panthers in the first game of the weekend and all. A closer score than you would have assumed in all, 34-31. And all too as well, took Matthew Stafford to lead a 2-minute and plus drive for the Rams to win that game and all too as well. Sick drive, Cam, and discounted there too as well, honestly. But shout out to the Panthers and all, because watching the Bucks game, they seemed unable to throw the football down the field and all too as well. But in some weird fashion, at least, and all, the Panthers were able to figure it out, even with a couple turnovers and all too as well, and a few miscues in the first half too as well. For them to even be in the game and have a lead in the fourth quarter was quite impressive, and all too as well gave the Rams two thrilling games this season and all, probably something I never would have expected and all too as well. I guess if there's something to be worried about with the Rams, it is, I guess, their defensive backfield and all too as well, because like I said, it seemed like the Panthers going to figure out how to throw the football down the field against the Buccaneers a week prior. At least, no, they only made the playoffs because the Falcons won that game against the Saints, at least, and all too as well. But still, a little worry about the Rams, at least, and all, regarding the defensive backfield and all too as well. It'll be an interesting matchup in their next game and all, but won't do that yet. Let's go into the next game that night. It's the Bears and Packers, and again, a team with a lead thinking the game was over. I'm thinking the game was. I did not watch the second half of this game and all, because I'm thinking 21-6. I think it was even 27-15 or something like that for the Packers in this game, at least in all. 3 quarters basically dominate this game, at least in all. But as you can see, the Bears won 31-27. Yeah, I forgot how many points they scored in the fourth quarter. Let me bring it up real quick. 25 points in the fourth quarter. I wasn't sure if I heard that right, but what was the score? I think it was, let's see, because I remember seeing 21-6, 21-3. 21-6, yeah, in the third quarter at least and all. Then they added 6 more points and all. So yeah, they probably were up. I don't think they were up. They were up 21. It's 21-6. Then from the highlights, obviously, this is what I'm going back and recollecting at least and all. But they were able to score. I think yeah, because 6 points there in the fourth quarter. So just had a field goal. So I think it was like 24. Had to be 24 to 16 and all. Yeah, maybe the Bears started going for 2 and all, just just to make it close at least and all, because they were so down in that game. To limit the possessions that they need. The possessions and the scores that they need at least, and I'll give them an extra score. No, that's probably what they did and all. But the Packers ended up getting the lead all over again, only by 3 maybe, and then Caleb Williams hits himself another touchdown to win the football game and all, the same way. Not the same way because they beat the Packers in overtime in their last matchup a few weeks back, at least, but literally in the same type of comeback, at least, and all. The Caleb Williams and the Bears end up winning that football game and all too as well. It's barely a cinch of how the Packers have played all season and all too as well. I think they had a lead against the Ravens, blew that and all too as well. Lost close games against the Panthers, and there's someone else I'm sleeping on this year too as well, tied with the Cowboys in a 37-37 game and all too as well, where their advantage was the defense and all. They couldn't stop anyone either and all too as well. So, but yeah, the Bears are going to be moving on to the divisional round, and the Packers, who are in a little quandary with their coach and all. Yeah, guess I'm bring up the amount of coaching openings in the NFL after I previewed these NFL playoffs and all too as well. Just forgot about that too as well. But yeah, now Matt LaFleur is apparently fine with the Packers, but that was like 3 days ago that they lost this game. We're in Wednesday now, and there's no mention of a contract or extension for homeboy and all too as well. I believe he's in his last year of his deal too as well, and also very interesting times in Green Bay and all too as well, and such a bad way to go out and all too as well with a lead. Jordan Love was able to go down the field. I don't know if they missed a field goal or they got two, or missed an extra point or got two field goals there. I'm gonna have to scratch my memory there, at least and all. But still though, Jordan Love was still able, even though they blew the lead, Jordan Love was still able to get them the lead and all in that defense. Even though without Micah Parsons, wasn't able to hold off the Bears, to hold the lead at least and all too. It was also a terrible loss for the Packers there, but a great win for the Bears. I didn't think they can do this comeback stuff in the playoffs. And there we go, first game for them. They end up pulling that off and all too as well. Third game of the wild card weekend, we got the Bills and Jaguars. Bills beating the Jaguars on the road, crazily, in my opinion, at least and all, for the Bills, at least and all. Close game throughout. It was a back and forth game, honestly, when you look at it and all too as well. The only difference you can just look at is that Trevor Lawrence threw an interception in his last possession and all. He had plenty of time to at least tie the football game and send it to overtime and all. I believe it was around like 40 to a minute at least and all too as well, with plenty of time to get about like 20 to 30 yards and so, because apparently their kicker has a big leg too as well. I think he broke the record. If he didn't break the record, he had the longest kick, I'm pretty sure, this season and all, if not 60-yard or plus 60 yards at least and all too as well. Definitely had a kicker that had the leg to at least give them a chance and all too as well. But if it wasn't the first play, the second play, Trevor Lawrence tip play, interception, game over and all too as well. So great last drive by Josh Allen, I should at least mention, at least and all. A great throw to Brandon Cooks, at least and all. Stood in the pocket, took that hit, and sent that thing I think 40 yards or so to Brandon Cooks, at least and all too as well. The middle of the season signing and all. And makes a big catch for them too as well. Two big tush pushes. Tush pushes. I don't know what else to call those, but yeah, tush pushes for two plays in the inside the 10-yard line, at least and all too as well. And they were able to Josh Allen was able to score too as well. And like I said, maybe gave the Jacksonville Jaguars too much time to at least have a chance for a field goal. But like I said, Trevor Lawrence had himself an interception there too as well, and also a big one for the Bills and all too as well. And they'll be facing the 1 seed and all too as well in the AFC, but we'll get there. The fourth game of the wild card and all, we get the Niners going into Philadelphia and beating the non-offensive-less Eagles at 23-19 score and all too as well. This game kind of looked over middle of the third quarter, to be fair, at least and all. Kittle got hurt, Achilles injury apparently for the Niners, and also he's done. That's another injury for their team and all. Obviously he's going to be out for the rest of the postseason and all too as well. Purdy had himself a couple turnovers too as well early in this game and all. So they kind of looked out of it and all too as well. But shout out to Kyle Shanahan and the huge play, in my opinion, to from Juwan Jennings to Christian McCaffrey to get them on the board and all. Purdy in the offense was able to move the football, in my opinion. They even scored on the first drive, if I remember correctly, and all too as well. The Eagles responded but missed the extra point and all too as well. Did it make a difference? Kind of made a difference in that game. When you look at it and all too as well, because of that situation of the score being 23-19. The Eagles needed to force a touchdown for their last drive instead of a field goal, and they were essentially in field goal range and all too as well. So, what's his name there? Jake Elliott, big miss there, big extra point miss in my opinion, all too as well. So, because if he made that, at least an opportunity to go to overtime and all too as well. But like I said, the Niners were moving the football and all too as well. Purdy just had some interception. I think he had 2 interceptions, if I remember correctly. Let me just look at the box score and all too as well for him. Yeah, he had 2 interceptions early and all too as well. But both instances they're moving the football and all. Demarcus Robinson, talk about a mid-season pickup, making a big play in the playoffs and all with Brandon Cooks. Demarcus Robinson came out of nowhere and had himself 111 yards and a touchdown. Yeah, for 6 receptions and all too as well. But yeah, they kind of staled out and all to my point about the third quarter, the game kind of looking over and all too as well. But a big play by Shanahan and all from Jawan Jennings, like I said, to Christian McCaffrey and all to finally put them on the board since that first touchdown and all too as well. Then they were able to move the football down the field and all. I think that's what they found. No, it was such a great play. There we go. Composure by Brock Purdy, in my opinion, all going to his fourth option and all. Then a great route, I should say, by Christian McCaffrey on the left side of their field and all too as well, starting out to the sideline and all, then cutting back in the middle of the end zone and all. And Brock Purdy was able to find them there too as well. Am I getting that wrong? They're not showing that McCaffrey had a touchdown as rushing yards. Okay, right? Because that was definitely the last play. Yeah, to Christian McCaffrey. It was such a sick play. It's hard not to remember that play and all too as well. But yeah, we're able to score there and all. Like I mentioned, the Eagles on their last drive and all too as well, because of the missed extra point early in the game, forced themselves to get a touchdown because they needed a touchdown basically to win the game and all, and they were unable to and all too as well. Devontae Smith, I think, had a drop on that drive. I'm not sure. A.J. Brown had a terrible game and all too as well. Had some big drops and all. I'm not sure if he had a drop on that drive, but kind of, yeah, I think he did because he had a drive where he had two crazy, one bad drop and in my opinion, a bad effort play on one of them and all, where he could have dove for it. I'm not saying he would have caught it, but the effort just looked bad. Kind of came up slow to the ball at least and all too as well. Kind of had a defender coming to him, so I can understand worrying about a hit at least and all, but you would think you would dive to avoid the hit at least and all too as well. But yeah, he didn't look good. Devontae Smith dropped the ball. Dallas Goedert obviously looked good at least and all too as well. But again, the Eagles weren't able to score 20 points at least and all too as well. Second half, again, looked like the game was over at least and all, but their second half lack of offense definitely came through and all too as well. The Niners cinched themselves into a divisional round appearance and all too as well. Surprisingly, like I said again, Kittle with his Achilles injury. And they've been dealing with injuries all season, at least and all too as well. So the fifth game, on Sunday night. Probably go a little long with this one, but the Pats beat the Chargers 16-3 and all in a defensive struggle. Can't lie at least and all. I kind of wanted some dominance in this football game, and defensively I got it and all too as well. I felt offensively they had their chances and all, especially in the second half where Drake Maye was good. Second half Drake Maye was definitely good. And the first half Drake Maye, maybe the playoffs were getting to him a little bit. Let's be fair. I guess I'll be a little bit fair, at least and all too as well. But in the second half, they were definitely able to move the football. If I can remember correctly, I think his stats were like 11 for 14, 172 in yards or something like that with a touchdown, at least. And it should have been 2 touchdowns and probably another 30 yards if he was able to find Hooper in the end zone, at least and all too as well. Had the corner of the end zone, the left side of the field open, had the whole back end of the end zone open for Hooper, at least. He beat his man, at least on too as well, but missed the throw, unfortunately, too as well. But turnovers obviously were a big thing. You can blame the O-line, the left side, to a degree, but I do kind of agree that there was one of the fumbles. There we go. There was a cut block by Will Campbell on the left side and all, and Drake Maye still had the ball in his hand at least and all too as well. So it kind of there's a football knowledge thing. If there was a cut block on the left side, at least, and all supposed to be a quick pass coming out, at least and all too as well. It wasn't. You can see that he was about to throw, but held it a little bit, and then he was going again, and that's when the strip fumble happened, at least and all too as well. I don't think he lost any of them. Trying to remember. He did lose one of them because they were driving. They were driving on the first drive, at least and all, and it was ended up being the fumble and all. I think the next drive, that's where he missed Austin Hooper, and he settled for a field goal there. And then on the next drive, finally able to find Hunter Henry deep, at least and all. And that's enabled him to get the touchdown, at least and all too as well. Drake Maye again was awesome. Even at the end of the first half, had a big, 37-yard run. When the Chargers had a chance to put themselves on the board, and then they would have the ball first in the second half, at least and all. They didn't score there. Pats had the ball for 45 seconds and all, or if not 50. Could have been like a minute or something like that. But big play by Drake Maye. Big play by Drake Maye, obviously, with the 37-yard play, at least and all, to basically put them in field goal range. Just threw the ball away for the next 3 plays, at least and all. And Burgals was able to hit the field goal, at least and all too as well. But that's basically the talk of the offense. Ramondre Stevenson is pretty awesome. I don't understand why it wasn't more of Stevenson and Henderson. I get it. It worked out. But I'm beginning to think I need to see more of Ramondre Stevenson, at least not two as well. But who cares about the offense if we're being real? Chargers only scored 3 points in this football game, at least. Now, the defense was pretty awesome in this football game, at least, all two as well. Two big, two big momentum shifts, I think, for their defense, honestly. First drive for the Chargers, I think they went for it on 4th down and 2, didn't get it. And then Drake Maye, unfortunately, had an interception tip ball, at least. No, to me, it wasn't a big deal, at least. No, could argue that he could have waited a bit for Austin Hooper to have more space away from the O-line and the D-line. But I think it was just a great play by the D lineman, at least not two as well. It was kind of had to play, to put himself back into play, at least not two as well. But to the defense, there was an interception deep in the page. Is it how they call it? Yeah, in the opponent's territory, at least not two as well. Basically, 15 yards away for the Chargers to score a touchdown and all. The Chargers went for it on 4th down again because the pass defense held them off at least in all two as well, and obviously were able to hold them off on the fourth and goal and all two as well to force the Pats offense back on the field at least in all two as well. So kind of geared them up to what they were doing further at least in all two as well. They ended up diagnosing a blitz for most of the game at least in all two as well, and was kind of effective getting to Justin Herbert at least in all two as well. To be fair to Justin Herbert, his legs kind of avoided a few more sacks in my opinion too as well. So a great game by him in my opinion, at least in that sense at least. No, but wasn't able to throw the football down the field. There's more slack on Justin Herbert for that, and even their OC there and Greg Roman got fired after this game at least not too as well. But I got to give credit again to the Pats defense in their backfield and all too as well. Maybe Carlton Davis didn't look great at times throughout this game too as well, honestly. But Christian Gonzalez looked awesome. Marcus Jones looked awesome too as well, especially in their instances where they sent him for a blitz and all too as well and all. Even the rookie there, Craig Woodson, was pretty dope too as well, honestly. He kind of flashed more than Jalen Hawkins and all, and he probably was just solid in that game too as well, honestly. But been saying this about the health of this team at least and all. If they're healthy, this defense is pretty solid. You finally got Milton Williams and Spillane back together since the Jets game, the first Jets game back in like week 7, week 8, and all too as well. And before those injuries, the Pats were sitting there in top 5 in rush defense and all too as well. Vidal, I think his name, if I'm saying his name correctly, did have some rushes against the defense at least on two as well. So we'll see if that's something that's shortened up and all because of the Pats having to lead over the Chargers, especially in the second half of the game. Chargers obviously went away from the run a bit more and started going to the pass at least and all two as well. But a big, Milton Williams was awesome at least and all two as well. I'm loving the news of Tonga since I'm talking about them winning. There's a practice report on Wednesday at least and all two as well, and Tonga is back at practice and all two as well, and that's such a huge part of their defense is the middle of their defense, like Spillane at their middle linebacker and all two as well. I'll get to him and all two as well. But having Tonga there with Milton Williams and Christian Balmer, even Durden too as well, and Farmer, if I remember correctly, and all two as well with the names at least and all two as well. But just got great depth there, and to add Tonga there, who they've used on the offensive side for an extra blocker and all two as well, just shows his impact at least and all two as well, just towards his size at least and all two as well. So very excited to have him back. Milton Williams obviously finished that play well with a huge sack on Justin Herbert. So since end the game and all, was a fourth down and all, and able to sack him to basically cinch the game under 2 minutes or so and all too as well. So but yeah, huge really about the defense and all. The offense had their miscues and all. Like I said, Drake Maye looked better and all too as well. I feel like Hunter Henry on the first drive dropped a chance for them to really get their offense going on the first drive of the game. First drive of the game. Yeah, I said that right. And all too as well. But yeah, great. It's just a great performance by the defense and all. Unfortunately, Christian Gonzalez left the game with a concussion and all too as well. Went into protocol. Good sign though. He was at practice today and all too as well. Apparently wearing a red non-contact jersey and all. But game is Sunday. He's at practice on Wednesday. Apparently this is the 4th out of 5 stages in the concussion protocol and all too as well. So just a great sign that he's back at practice and all too as well. And we'll talk about a huge injury against their opponent and all too as well. But I just should get into it all too as well. But again, just a huge shout out to the defense and all too as well. I have to even give Zach Kerr some credit too as well. They just seem like they dialed a great game plan and all too as well. I know it really is about the Pats having a lead and the Chargers getting away from the run, and also it is something that I'm worried about going forward. At least can they really stop the run and all, so they can force the opponent to really dial it up throwing wise and all, and kind of goes into their next advantage defensively and all, is their defensive backfield, which I think is underrated amongst the league and all too as well and all. So Pats going on to the divisional round, like I've been saying and all too as well, and then that's how they got into the divisional round and all too as well. But next and finally, out of the 6 games of the wild card round, probably the worst game of it. Yeah, like I said, I did say something about the largest lead of the playoffs with the Pats and all too as well. That was just on the weekend and all too as well. The Texans ended up having the biggest lead of the 6 games at least, and all with a 30-6. Win over the Steelers and all too as well. The score isn't indicative of how close the game was, in my opinion, at least and all. It kind of blew up in the fourth quarter and all too as well, where the Texans forced 2 defensive turnovers into touchdowns and all too as well with a what's it called? I'm trying to figure out the fumble term where they scored a touchdown at least and all, but I can't think of it. So so the defensive lineman of the Texans and all forced a strip sack on Aaron Rodgers and all, able to pick a scoop six. I'm trying to remember the term at least. I'll be able to pick it up and run for a touchdown and all too as well, to get one of the defensive touchdowns and all too as well. If not the next possession, but the second possession after and all, I'm able to force a pick six on Aaron Rodgers and all too as well, and they were able to enable them to score another touchdown and all too as well. This game was basically at a 10-6 score for a while, from like the second quarter to the third quarter and all too as well. I think the Texans probably hit a field goal and all to make it 13-6 or something like that. Maybe a touchdown. Maybe it was a touchdown. Maybe it was 7-6 for a while, and they got themselves a touchdown, and then the defensive touchdowns came back and all too as well. But not much of a game, in my opinion, and all too as well. Like I said, I'll be going into the coaching, all the coaching, not firings, but basically, but all the coaching openings, I should say, at least not too as well. After this game, Mike Tomlin stepped down as the Pittsburgh Steelers head coach. Basically been the head coach since 2007 and all too as well. So, but there was nothing really that the Steelers could do. The Texans did not play well this game, at least and all too as well. Even the Steelers had opportunities and all to make some moves and all too as well. I liked their first drive and all, but I don't know. It's just Aaron Rodgers as a statue, not able to move around and all, not able to run for like 5 yards or something like that too as well. I feel like it was a big part to why they couldn't do anything offensively and all too as well. So I feel like they were okay with the run game too as well, honestly. So they had no resistance for the Texans and all too as well. CJ Stroud, like I said, didn't look great. Had himself a whole bunch of fumbles and all. I think lost 2 of them. Had an interception too as well. One of them, maybe 2 of them. Let me just double check. I think it was 2 of them. Okay, one of them. It was just bad. It was just bad, at least not 2 as well. So it was just mostly fumbles with their turnovers and all too. So defense was awesome. Like I said, they got 2 defensive touchdowns, no different from the Pats, at least. No, in this game, at least, no, was the big part of them winning and all too as well. Maybe would have won without the defensive turnovers and all, because the Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers offense was nowhere to be found, at least and all too as well. But that's basically what we got for the wild card wins, at least and all too as well. And now it sets up divisional round, at least and all too as well, this Sunday, where we got the Bills versus the Broncos and all, the 49ers versus the Seahawks and all. Like, I didn't even realize it was all like that. My bad. But got the Texans versus the Patriots on Sunday and all, and then the Rams versus the Bears for the last game of the divisional round and all too as well. If I had to circle around with the picks, at least and all, for where I'm thinking all, with the Bills and Broncos, I would have been like, I got my like personal reasons why I don't want the Broncos to win and all, but that's some other ish, at least and all. But if I'm being real, at least and all, I'm going to pick the Bills at least because they got, Superman on their side, but I am concerned with the lack of depth at the wide receiver position and all too as well. I know Brandon Cooks, like I said, made a big catch for Josh Allen and the Bills and all in that clutch play in the fourth quarter against the Jaguars and all too as well. But I don't know. Even though I haven't liked the Broncos defense, they've just been giving up points against, just against mid quarterbacks and all. Daniel Jones, Marcus Mariota, and all too as well. And this another game, Jackson Dart and all. Trevor Lawrence came into their trap and all too as well, but came into their stadium and dropped 30 plus points on them too as well. Honestly, I understand they had some injuries there too as well, but their defense seems to just give up some points from time to time. They make some clutch plays. I don't want to deny that from them too as well, honestly. But they do tend to give up yards and all too as well, and points and all too as well. I don't know if it's typically just the big plays and all, which you can understand from time to time. But compared to like the Texans and the Seahawks, and the Broncos have the same talent, but it doesn't seem to show just based on stats and all too as well. Just on like points per game and yardage type stats, they're still tops in like pass defense and rush defense. That doesn't make sense to me. Why they give up so many points from time to time. Even in the Packers game where they end up winning and all, again giving up 23 points midway through the third quarter and all too as well. Those are the type of things that get me a little bit more, that draw a little ire with their defense and all too as well. And they don't have the, Bo Nix is okay. Like I got my narratives with him and all too as well. But he's okay and all too as well. But he's not, what's it called? I think I heard it today, if not yesterday. The Broncos offense, it's like 19th and all too as well. So it kind of, with their defense giving up points from time to time, I feel like that's why they're in the positions of having all those comeback wins and all too as well. But I would have a bit more confidence with the Bills and all. Like I feel like their defense is stepping up in the playoffs at least and all, even though they give up some points against the Jaguars and all too as well. They just tend to just make turnover plays in these big games and all too as well. And all, so that's where my confidence is with the Bills and all. I just don't like the wide receiver depth against that defense and all, week off and all too as well. Who know, for teams that have the bye week and all too as well. I think the defense looks a little bit more ready to go than the offense and all too as well, because the offense comes with a little bit more rhythm and all, no different from the defense and all. But there is a weird thing and all to that where the offense is a little bit more slow compared to the defense, I should say, and all too as well. If the Bills are coming in a bit hampered wide receiver wise, it just makes me a little bit more cringy about their options and all too. So they do have like two solid tight ends for Josh Allen at least, and also it's not the worst thing for them to maybe emphasize the tight ends a bit more and all. Maybe that's the weakness to the Broncos defense and all too as well. But they got linebackers and all too, so they got D linemen. I don't want to go too far with that, honestly, too as well. But it just makes things more interesting for the Bills, in my opinion, all too as well. I still think Josh Allen's going to make a play here or there to win this game for them and all, but it should be a close one. It wouldn't surprise me if it's like a 19-16 type of game and all too as well. But give me the Bills, even though I'm not liking this whole thing with their wide receiver depth and all too as well. Next we got the 49ers and Seahawks and all. I would edge out the Niners in this one, honestly, too as well. I get the Seahawks defense is pretty good. I'm just a questionnaire type of guy with Sam Darnold and all too as well. Can you really trust him in the clutch in this type of game and all too as well? He just hasn't proven it. He's been in these opportunities before, at least last year. I'm not going to do anything prior to him to put that on him and all too as well. But at least last year and this year at least and all, I feel like his first halves and the second half of these games for them haven't been great. I liked what they have around them at least, so I feel like that's helped big time for him and all. But in the game with a little bit of more pressure on it too as well, I'm gonna pick the Niners and all. I'm not confident about it. I'm more confident even with the Bills and their lack of wide receiver though. I got a little bit more confidence there because as much as I believe, this is only like respect for Kyle Shanahan and the Christian McCaffreys of the world, what they got over there at least. But if the Seahawks came out and boat raced the Niners, it wouldn't surprise me all that much because they are a 1 seed and they do have the best defense in that conference going forward at least and all too as well. But the Niners are able to hold off. I just see how the Niners won that Eagles game. that's how I expect the Seahawks to play, at least and all too as well. It's not like the Eagles defense is probably number two to the Seahawks and all, and they limited the Niners from time to time. It took the Niners to whip out a play to really start opening up their offense a bit, because they were able to score a touchdown again after that big play. Christian Caffrey and Jawan Jennings, at least and all too as well. So that's kind of my expectation with the Seahawks. Their defense will flash, but will their offense be able to move the football? Because their offense not able to move the football, turn into a game of field possession and all. And I would give an advantage to Kyle Shanahan in that situation if you keep giving him a good field, to move the football down the field and all too as well. Seahawks did limit them to 3 points in their is this the last game of the season and all? But Christian McCaffrey had himself a touchdown and had himself a Travis Kelce moment, I can't show it and all too as well, but as you will see in that catch from Jawan Jennings, I keep bringing up that play and all. Christian McCaffrey had himself a dope catch and all, and then I brought up the last play and all where they ended up cinching the game against the Eagles, where he had a catch in the end zone and all too as well. If they were able to score that touchdown there, I think it was like a 19-3 score, 19-3 win for the Seahawks and all. I think it was a closer score if Christian McCaffrey was able to get into the end zone there and all too as well. Who knows what momentum could have been built up if that incident didn't happen for, McCaffrey and the Niners, at least and all too as well. So I got a lot of confidence. I guess I got a lot of confidence now that the Niners can beat the Seahawks and all too. So it just wouldn't surprise me if things go weird. The Seahawks blew them out, at least and all too. So probably the only game where I could see a blowout, at least and all too. So I just don't trust Sam Darnold to play that clean of a game to make it, to give the Seahawks that type of advantage. And if I had to trust in Sam Darnold, I feel like the Seahawks are your Super Bowl, outside of the Rams at least and all, they're your Super Bowl favorites at least and all too as well. If you had to take these, I wonder what the odds are right now. I guess maybe I can look it up. But out of these 8 teams at least and all, I feel like the Seahawks could be rated higher if I had more trust, I should say, and Sam Darnold and all too as well. But give me the Niners in this one. Wouldn't surprise me. It's like the same type of score how they beat the Eagles there in the 24-20 type of game, at least and all too as well. Give me the next game. Texans Patriots at New England and all too as well. Of course, gonna be a lot biased in this one. I'll obviously say the Pats and all too as well, but I can't see this game being a blowout. I'll be real about that too as well. I definitely can see the Texans just annoying the hell out of Drake Maye and all. It's just a turnover riddled game and all too as well. Where my confidence does come from though, can that Pats defense do that again to the Texans and all too as well? That would mean they would need to get a lead and all too as well, and that could change things and all too as well. But I think it's huge, for the Pats to have a lead in some sort of this game and all too as well. Maybe it lessens the aggression from the Texans defense and all too as well, and you put more pressure on C.J. Stroud and all too as well. I think it's going to be huge that Christian Gonzalez may be playing in this game and Nico Collins is not for that game and all. Christian Kirk had a huge game for the Texans and all against the Steelers and all. I think it was like 11 for like 138 or something, like 11 receptions for 138. I could be wrong or something like that, but definitely know he got over 100 yards and all too as well. I think he had a touchdown for them too and all too as well. So, but yeah, I think they can not shut down, but I don't think Christian Kirk's gonna have 100 yards against the New England Patriots and all. Christian Gonzalez, Carlton Davis, Marcus Jones, Craig Woodson, and Jalen Watkins are all healthy and all too as well. They've been that solid this year and all too as well. It looks like the Houston center has had some issues and all, and like I said, the strength of the New England's D line is the middle and all, and now it looks like you're adding Tonga with Milton Williams, Christian Barmore, Farmer, Durden to that mix at least and all too as well. So it's got me a little bit more excited at least now for their opportunities of getting to C.J. Stroud at least and all too as well. Can he get to him 6 times or so? I shouldn't say 6, but 3 to 6 times, like they got to Justin Herbert that 6 times in that playoff game against the Chargers this past weekend, at least and all too as well. So that's where my hope is, at least and all, where their middle of the D line can take advantage of maybe the Houston Texans weak point of their O line and all too as well, and can the offense get themselves a lead and all too as well. I think Drake Maye looked fine and all too as well. Obviously, the turnovers are going to throw him off a bit and all too as well. But can the offense get you a lead and all too as well? I think that's the huge thing for them in the first half, at least and all too as well. I think the opportunities are there. I'm even looking at tape and all too as well, where the Texans have really took over the first half of a game and all too as well. What game was I looking at? Was it the Jaguar game where they were able to get a 14-0 lead quick? No, the Charger game where they were able to get a 14-0 lead quick. Then everything divulges into what you saw against the Pittsburgh Steelers, at least and all too as well. So it'd be interesting if the Pats can get a lead in the first half, at least and all. I think it can change the way the Texans have been winning from what I've been watching through their tape over the last second half of the season, because they are riding a 10-game winning streak, it looks like, and all too as well. They've had the lead, and the Houston Texans defense is able to pin their ears back basically, and play downhill, at least and all too as well. If the Pats can get a lead, I feel like it lowers their aggression there. And at the same time, in the first half, I would think they're going to come in with their aggression anyway. I feel like Josh McDaniels can lead a game plan where they can take advantage of their aggression and all too as well. When you look at the Pittsburgh game, that's why I bring up Aaron Rodgers not able to run. I'm not even expecting Drake Maye to run like that against this Houston Texans defense like they did against the Chargers, because I would give the Texans defense a shit ton faster than the Chargers defense. The Chargers defense is top 5. I had to gain respect for them going into that game from seeing their stats and all too as well. It's not like it's a bad defense and all too as well. It's a little different from the Cleveland Browns to a degree, because they just have a better offense, so better results for their team, at least and all too as well, because of things like field position and all too as well. But I probably lost my point there and all too as well. But like I've been saying, it'd be huge if the Pats can get themselves a lead, have the Texas probably play a little bit more back and all too as well, add more pressure to their offense to eliminate their run game, because even Woody Marks was pretty solid for them against Pittsburgh and all too as well. And I do have my worries if this team can really stop the run going forward, at least and all too as well. They didn't have to, because they had the lead. You saw the advantage there and all too as well. But there we go. I was trying to remember what I was talking about. But like I was saying, with Aaron Rodgers couldn't run and all, but the Pittsburgh Steelers weren't able to move the pocket for him too as well on bootleg plays and all too as well. And how effective is Aaron Rodgers on bootleg plays against a fast defense like that? I think Drake Maye can be a little bit more better in that instance and all too as well against that Houston Texans defense, and maybe open up a bit more playmaking for him there too as well. And also that's where my confidence lays, at least and all. Can the Pats get a lead against that offense and all? Against that defense, I should say, and all. And can the Pats defense do the same thing that they did to Justin Herbert and all? It could be a bigger thing if they're able to, because their C.J. Stroud doesn't look like he's going to be running out of the pocket and all. So if they're able to force a pressure and put some pressure on him, maybe you can get a weird mistake by C.J. Stroud, or a couple of them from C.J. Stroud, and force some turnovers in that game and all too as well. But we'll see. Obviously, I'm picking the Pats because of my bias and all too as well. But finally, for the divisional round and all too as well, we got the Rams and Bears and all. This shit is definitely interesting and all too as well, because I keep saying, I think I'm gonna have to eliminate it, that the Bears can't come back and win games in the playoffs and all too as well. We'll see if the Broncos can do it too as well, honestly, against the Bills. And I just think Josh Allen's going to be able to do that compared to Bo Nix and all. And that thing, it's going to be a close game and all. So that's where my trust is with Josh Allen and all too as well. But that game that Caleb Williams has, I'll change my mind if I see some things and all. Even with Bo Nix and over there in Denver and all too as well. But like I said, they were down 21-6 somewhere in the third quarter and all. I think 27-15 or 24-15 or something like that too as well. And then down again, where they had to score a touchdown one of their last drives and all too as well to win the game and all too as well. So the Bears show the ability to come back in this game and all. And like I said, when I first started with the first game of the wild card game with the Rams, the defensive backfield does have a whole shit that's question marks and all too as well, because I didn't think the Panthers could throw the football down the field. Bryce Young is all of a sudden throwing the football down the field, a coker and all too as well, as bringing me back to the game, at least and all. But what the Bears have done for the second half of the season is throw the football down the field when they're down in football games, and Caleb Williams has been executing and winning them games for them too as well. So I'm kind of worried about the Rams and all. The Bears defense is so-so. I say so-so because I think they're good, but I think they're truly a ball hawking team and all too as well. Because ball hawking team I should say. So you can beat them deep or beat them for yards after yak and all too as well. They're gonna be facing Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams and all too as well. So it's gonna be a big chance. There's gonna be some chances for them to make a play, but there will be some chances for the Rams to make a play too as well. Honestly, so that's why I kind of expect this thing to be kind of high scoring and all too as well. Seems to be the Rams' MO anyway in these games that they play and all. But I'm gonna pick the Rams, but the Bills' confidence. Niners not so much because of their injuries. The Pats because I'm a Pats fan, confidence and all too as well. But I can understand the Texans' argument for sure of them winning that football game and all too as well. But I'm picking the Rams in this one, and I think this is the least confident I feel about this one all too as well because the Bears just keep coming back in games. The Rams had a 26-3 lead against the Eagles this year and all, and of all the teams that the Eagles scored on, the Rams were one of them and all, because look at their second half. They can't score in the second half, but they're able to score in the second half against the Rams. I'm kind of worried for Matthew Stafford fans and all that type of stuff and all too as well, because the Bears have the recipe to come back and win games and all too as well. I don't care how big the lead is that the Rams have and all. I feel like the Bears could come back and win that game and all too as well. So, but I'm going to go with the Rams and all too as well. Maybe the playoff experience and all is the edge for the Rams and all. I'm not confident about it. It's just because their defensive backfield tends to make plays, and they tend to allow plays to teams that don't have big play ability and all too as well. I'm bringing up Bryce Young and Jalen Hurts and all too as well, and they allowed both guys to give up big plays and all too as well. Saw Bryce Young do it earlier in the season or halfway through the season and all, and they allowed the big plays again in the wild card game against them and all too as well. So maybe it's an instance of who has the ball last wins the game and all too as well. Wouldn't surprise me. It's the divisional round. It's the playoffs. Probably is how it is. These games are going to be close and all, but their weakness really makes me worry what the Bears can do offensively and all too as well. But I'll give them the slight edge because of their experience and all too as well. So I'll take the Rams and all too as well. So let's hope. I'm praying for the Pats to be in the AFC Championship game and all too as well. It'll be very surprising how they're coming off to back-to-back 4-win seasons and all. They're still sitting here with an opportunity and all too as well. But those are the divisional games and all too as well. Before I get to the college football game real quick, and the Red Sox making a free agent signing, surprisingly and all too as well, as I mentioned, I wanted to bring up the head coaches in the head coaching openings in the NFL real quick. Openings NFL. I think we're up to 9, if I remember correctly, and all too as well. Let me see if I can find a list somewhere online. Ooh, NFL.com has a no.
Check this out. I'm going to show you.
I thought I clicked on NFL.com. There we go. Yeah, I'm doing a video. I don't want to watch a video, but it would be a cool thing to do from time to time. I'm not gonna lie. DJ Academics does it from time to time, right? So, but yeah, since I'm having this pause moment, again, if you guys are watching on the YouTube side, please press on that subscribe button, and if you guys are listening on the podcast platform side like Apple and Spotify, please press on that subscribe button, or please leave us a rating and add us to your library for any future, any past, present, or future episodes and all too as well. I'm gonna have to get better, I'm telling you. But I guess NFL.com ranks the jobs by 1 to 9, right? Yep, 9 job openings right now. Number 1, they have the Ravens and all, which makes sense. And all, ooh, they got my orientation all messed up too. Word, here we go. But what's it called there? The Ravens are number 1, which makes sense and all. They got the MVP quarterback and all too as well. Two MVPs for Lamar Jackson and all too as well. It's definitely understandable why they're the number 1 team and all. The Giants, I guess I'm kind of surprised with the Giants being number 2. I guess you can argue. Obviously, you have a first-round quarterback in Jackson Dart who flashed a bit throughout the season and all. You have if he comes back healthy and all, and there's no reason why not to think he can at least and all too as well. Malik Neighbors and all. high-end wide receiver and all. Some people would put him in the top 5 right now as a second-year guy and all too as well, based off his rookie season and all too as well. You got Cam Scatterboo there, and their defense has flashed from time to time over the past couple seasons and all too as well. So I can understand to a degree why the Giants would be the second favorite job at the openings and all too as well. Pittsburgh number 3 and all too as well. Surprised there. I can't really think of anything why, except for their tradition, at least and all too as well. But I would think they would go down a little bit before going up and all too as well. Cleveland Browns number 4. Surprised there too. I heard their cap situation ain't all that great either. Don't understand that one. I would put Falcons, I think, is a cool job, at least in all too as well. If you can figure out the quarterback position, either keep the 2, trade both, keep one of one, and see if they can win you some football games and all. But you got Bijan Robinson, who's one of the top talents in my opinion in the league and all. Drake London, top 10, top 12-ish receiver in the league, at least and all. I think Kyle Pitts is on. I think he's a free agent and also you see if you bring him back. But you hit in the draft with James Pierce Jr., I believe his name is, and Walker. I'm sleeping on his first name at least, and all too as well. Jalen Walker and all too as well. So you have 2 pass rushes and all too as well. It's something that you've been looking for forever. Jesse Bates is still in the backfield and all too as well. So I like the Falcons and all. I would put them number 3 after the Giants and all too as well. So I like what they got going there as a job and all. The Miami Dolphins would be ranked 6 on NFL.com. I disagree. I guess it's whatever. At least and all, wait for the other team that I would put higher at least and all. But I'm not the biggest fan of the Dolphins at least and all too as well. Of a hot spot to go to at least and all too as well. If you can get yourself an NFL head coaching job, take the job. I'm just saying as a hot commodity type of job. I feel like it's an okay type of situation and all too as well. The Cardinals, I like the Cardinals at least and all too as well. Got Trey McBride, the best tight end in football in my opinion and all too as well. I feel like Jonathan Gannon built up that defense a bit too as well. You just don't have an answer at the quarterback position in my opinion all too as well. Even James Conner's gone over there and kind of continued his career and all. I thought he was a one-hit wonder with the Steelers and all. He's still having a career out there too as well. You never know. Maybe the quarterback position, if you better that, you get the most out of Marvin Harrison Jr., who was a big name coming out of the draft and all too as well. So I like that. I would put that position. I would put that 4 after the Falcons and all. Maybe I'll put the Pittsburgh Steelers after that and all too. So I just wouldn't put the Browns that high, and I wouldn't put the Dolphins that high either, because especially with the Browns with their cap situation and all too as well. And I think the Dolphins are going to be sitting there with a cap situation with Tua, basically benching Tua at the end of the season and all, and not bringing him back. I'm assuming they're not bringing him back and all too as well. So that's going to be a huge cap hit towards their cap and all too as well. So I like the Cardinals. I would put them higher as a job that I would like. The only thing you wouldn't like about the Cardinals is division, because of the Niners in there, the Rams in there, and the Seahawks in there, all in the playoffs and all too as well. So it's tough. It's a tough division to get through and all. But as a job and with pieces, I think it's better than the Dolphins or the Browns, or Dolphins and the Browns and the Dolphins and the Browns, more than the Steelers, but I respect the Steelers' tradition, so I get why they're up there in the list and all too as well. 8 for NFL.com. A team that I would put higher too in the Titans and all. You got Cam Ward there. Jeffrey Simmons is still legit as an inside, as a nose tackle. I believe he is too as well. Honestly, you're gonna have another high draft pick this year too as well. I don't think they're in bad strengths and all too as well. I like the Titans position at least on too, so they just got more youth there too as well. So I would put them higher than the Dolphins or the Browns too as well. And then they put the Raiders 9, and I kind of disagree there too. I like the name Geno Smith. I don't know what, obviously not bringing him back, so I don't know what cap implications that brings at least and all. But you still got the number 1 overall pick, Max Crosby. If you don't bring him back, you can trade him and get some things out of him too as well, honestly. So I wouldn't put the Raiders as high because they need a whole lot more there, but I like it more than the Browns and the Dolphins and all too as well. It wouldn't surprise me if they got some cap space and all too as well. So, but those are the firings and all too as well. Yeah, the Raiders got rid of Pete Carroll. The Tennessee Titans got rid of Brian Callahan, I believe his name was. Arizona Cardinals, a disappointing firing in my opinion in Jonathan Gannon. I just think he was dealing with a bad quarterback situation and all too as well. I think he kind of built up a solid defense in my opinion and all too as well. Dolphins, Mike McDaniels let go and all. Probably a hot offensive coordinator commodity in my opinion and all. Falcons let go of Raheem Morris surprisingly, and their GM and all too as well, and I think their president too. I think they got rid of the whole thing, whole enchilada and all too as well. With Rich McKay, I think was their former president. Matt Ryan took the job apparently for that president job with the Falcons and all too as well. I could be wrong about Rich McKay being the president and all. Maybe he was. I'm pretty sure Rich McKay was the president. I'm sleeping on the GM's name. Apparently he was a black guy and all too as well. I'm just sleeping on his name. And Raheem Morris was the, did they have it there? Did they have it here real quick? I'm just trying to see. I don't think so. Yeah, Raheem Morris out. Yeah, it's showing Raheem Morris being out. But yeah, they got rid of the GM too. It's not the GM names. They also have the yeah, Terry Fontenot. Yeah, Jerry Fontenot gone. So I think they got rid of Mitch McKay too, and he's been running their president stuff for, he's been running the president operations for years over there, honestly. This camera's playing with me right now. But yeah. I wanted to make sure of that. Terry Fontenot was the name at least and all. But yeah, Raheem Morris out in Atlanta and all too as well. Browns got rid of Kevin Stefanski and all. Apparently he's still a hot commodity for a head coaching job, if not an OC job. Like I mentioned, Tomlin stepped down as the Pittsburgh coach and all too as well. And I want to give a shout out to him too as well. I think just reading the room at least, John Harbaugh, who I'm going to mention getting fired by the Ravens and all, is getting let go and all. Losing 7 straight playoff games and all. In 10 seasons and all. I think that's what it was for Tomlin and all. I give him credit for reading the room and letting himself go and all too as well. The Giants got rid of Dayball in the middle of the season and all. And then as I mentioned, John Harbaugh getting fired by the Baltimore Ravens and all too as well. So those are the coaching openings right now. There is not rumors, but talk if the Bills lost to Sean McDermott holding his job and all. Like I mentioned, Matt LaFleur is a lamed up coach right now too as well. 1 year, basically going into the last year of his deal and all. And there's still no talk of him being extended yet too as well, honestly. So that's an interesting look out there too as well. And say everyone else looks pretty safe, I would think, as a coach. Sean Payton, obviously Shanahan, Mike McDonald just got there and all too as well. Ben Johnson just got there. Sean McVay's a LA Ram legend at this point and all too as well. Mike Vrabel coming, having a great first year and all. D'Amico Ryans and all. You're kind of looking at Sean McDermott as that one final piece and all. If the Bills end up losing sometime in the playoffs and all, is having a open job position and all. And obviously, like I mentioned, the Packers and all too as well, to that 9 teams that already have an opening and all too as well. So kind of a hectic year if we're being real with the job openings and all with in the NFL and all too as well. But enough NFL. Basically just went 50 minutes talking NFL stuff and all too as well. So real quick, we have a college football matchup and all too as well. A college football championship matchup where we got Indiana coming off a drubbing, a smacking of the Oregon Ducks, at least and all too. So this camera's really playing with me right now, but yeah, this drubbed them. No different how they drubbed the Crimson Tide, but worse, at least in all in this game and also not much to talk about there. Just not much to talk about there. It's not like I'm a complete, college football guy to give you great analysis and all too as well. They just whooped that ass and all too as well. But Miami Ole Miss was dope and all too as well. Great quarterback play when you look at it and all too as well. Miami's running game really showed out in that game too as well, honestly. But shout out to Carson Beck and all too as well. Had himself a big play in their final drive and all. Well, second to last final drive, at least in all too, so was able to run into the end zone to give Miami this 31-27 lead and all. But Timothy Chambliss and all too as well, or Trinidad Chambliss. I'm thinking about Timothy Chalamet. Well, I gotta see the Marty Supreme movie. It looks like, and I got that stuck in my head and all too as well. But yeah, Trinidad Chambliss at least and all too as well was able to move their team down the field and all. You can argue there was a pass interference call at the end zone there too as well. I've said in a group chat at least and all, I wish it was a better throw. It was a great throw. I don't want to knock the throw. I just wish it was a better throw where the ref would have had more pressure to pull the flag out and call the PI at least and all too as well. It was a great play by Chambliss at least and all. The ball was in play for his receiver at least and all. Clearly was either impeded or held to get himself a touchdown at least and all too as well. So but nah, great game there at least and all too as well. Great ending there, and Miami was able to move on now facing Indiana in the national championship game this upcoming Monday and all too as well. Indiana did something that I didn't think could be done, or it's obviously been done, but they kind of defeated my recent history thought of beating it, unable for college football teams to beat a team twice in the season and all. They drubbed the Oregon Ducks, at least Oregon Ducks, however you want to pronounce them and all too as well, 56-22 in their second matchup against them this season. And in their first matchup, I think it was pretty close. I think it was a 30-20. Indiana win at least in all two as well. So they just look like a true number one in all two as well. Miami's calling card, it looks like, is their defense, and they play physical defense. But I've been seeing this really been watching this Indiana team since the Big Ten championship against OSU and all, and they've shown every appearance of being physical and intense in these games, at least in all two as well. Even had themselves a bye week, and there were questions about teams in the bye week and all two as well. And they're the ones that showed out and looked ready, even after not playing football for 20 plus days and all two as well. So got to give them the advantage and all. I think Miami can give them a game because they play a similar brand of football and all two as well. But you're probably just looking at the quarterback position and all. We're looking at a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback and all, and Fernando Mendoza, who's, I wasn't believing in the talent, but his processing is kind of high level. It's kind of elite. I'm not going to lie, honestly. It's pretty impressive. The Alabama game, the first half of that game and all, kind of impressed there. And look at the points they scored there. I'm not saying he was the only part of it, but he was a big part of it too as well. Carson Beck's a seasoned quarterback, at least in all in college. If you know, you know, at least in all too as well. So maybe he can still show some poise against Ole Miss, at least in all. Can he show the similar poise against Indiana and all too as well? But I'll give it Indiana the advantage. I think Miami can make it a close game, at least and all. I'd be shocked if they got blown out and all, but if they did, Indiana just proved they're the true number one in college football this season and all too as well. So, but we got that's the national championship game there and all too as well. And then I got to bring this up and all too as well. The Red Sox, I don't know if I pressed something. All right, I didn't press anything. But the Red Sox signed Ranger Suarez today, apparently, at least now, for $130 in 5 years and all. Unfortunately, Alex Bregman signed with the Chicago Cubs this weekend on Saturday, at least not too as well. So Red Sox fans were definitely depressed after hearing all that and all too as well. But apparently this is a huge signing for them. You kind of see the stats on the screen right there: 12-8, 3.2 ERA, 151 strikeouts for a guy who don't throw hard. Apparently, I looked at his highlights today, at least not too as well, to get an idea of who this guy is, because everyone's excited about it, and I just didn't hear anything about his name throughout the off season this year and all too, as well as hearing more about who's the other pitcher there, Framber Valdez from the Astros, more than Ranger Suarez, at least. I'm going to have to get his name right too as well and all. But as you can see, the stats are pretty solid. He's got like a 4.1 win-loss record in the playoffs. I think it's like a sub-2 ERA too as well, honestly, in the playoffs and all. So seems pretty solid and all too as well. Apparently, he's more of a solid number 2 guy than Sonny Gray and all, a pitcher that the Sox picked up in the early part of the offseason and all too as well. So if he's a legit number 2, now you're looking at Crochet, Suarez, Sonny Gray, and now Brian Bayo, and now Connolly Early, and if Cuddy Crawford comes back, another option there, and if quote unquote Patrick Sandoval comes back, another option there and all. But apparently a guy who's 4-1 in the postseason and all too as well. I feel this is a better pickup than going after Alex Bregman and all. You need a bat I'm not gonna lie. I can't see Marcelo Meyer playing 120 games at third base and all, and being highly effective there and all too as well. So it would be nice to have another bat at third base and all, even for second base too as well. I kind of want a bat for third base, and then you can have a platoon thing going at second base and all too as well. But it's interesting quandary now that the Sox are in and all. It looks like they made up for it by picking up Ranger Suarez and all too as well. You got a legit number two pitcher, something I've been asking for. I thought it'd be Joe Ryan, but you end up getting it, and Suarez and all too as well. But it's just interesting how they get the bat now. Ketel Marte was, you even seeing that right there on the screen and all too as well. That Ketel Marte was a trade commodity in the early part of the offseason, sleeping on the GM for the Diamondbacks and all too as well. But he said that he's closing out talks apparently for him. But apparently there's some talk that maybe the Sox can reignite it and all too as well, because now maybe Bayo is more of a trade option and all too as well, bolsters that package for Marte and all too as well. Now adding Suarez, you have a 1-2-3 going for you. You can interchange your 4 and 5 however you want. That you have your top 3 and all too as well. You can put Early or Tully there, or Tully I should say, if you trade Bayo there. And that's why I bring up Cutter Crawford there too as well. Should be back. I'm not 100% certain he's going to be back ready for spring training, but I'm thinking he's going to be ready on the top half of the season, more the middle half of the season and all too as well. There's another arm you can add there too as well, honestly. So it leaves you more options with knowing that you have a top 3 with Suarez, Gray, and obviously Crochet at the top at least and all. You can have a little bit more fun with that pitching depth that you claim to have. I don't believe in pitching depth. It's super overrated. I've never seen the team. I was thinking about it earlier today too as well. When have you ever seen a team go in with 5 starters and leave with 5 starters and all too as well? So I don't believe it in depth at least and all. But if you believe in your top 3 at least and all, it does make the bottom half of your rotation a little bit more interchangeable. And a guy like Brian Bayo, which I heard opened a season for the Patriots. Yeah, I'm stuck. But for the Red Sox a couple seasons back at least and all, did show that he was a solid number 2, if not 3, behind Giolito and Crochet at least and all too as well. You can make it. You can move him obviously to a team like the Diamondbacks, and obviously get yourself a bat in Ketel Marte, which is something now looks like to be a weakness right now for the Red Sox at least and all, with a lack of a right-handed bat by losing Bregman. Right-handed bat, obviously, losing Bregman to the Cubs at least and all too as well. So I wanted to bring that up real quick. They got the number 2 pitcher and all, so I thought, since I'm recording today, let's bring that up and all. Let's do a Celtics check-in real quick and all too as well. Losers of their last 2, unfortunately, and all too as well, but still sitting at number 3 in the Eastern Conference and all too as well. Kind of a dope sight, I'm not going to lie. Still a game up, I think, on the Raptors. No, half game. I think the Raptors won the other night and all too as well. No. Yeah, I think they won the other night. So that's why I remember seeing a game above them. Definitely half game back. But lost their last 2 games. Lost to the Spurs on Saturday night. Pretty close game, at least in all too as well. But the Spurs dominated, if I remember correctly, in the last... Yeah, it was a clutch game, but the Spurs dominated in the last 3 minutes of that game and all too as well. Didn't watch the end of the Pacers and Celtics game and all too as well. Kind of caught up in football and kind of tired too as well. So with the Texans and Steelers game the same night at least and all too as well. But looks like they end up losing in the close one, 98-96. Joe Mazzulla looked pretty pissed about it too as well, and saying a legal screen throughout his whole post-game press conference and all too as well. But ended up being right, because the last 2-minute report dropped, the L2R, whatever they want to abbreviate it as, and they admitted that Pascal Siakam committed the legal screen in the final to last possession second to last possession of the game at least and all too as well. Seemed like Derek White missed a 3-pointer to basically win the game at the end there too as well, honestly. So unfortunately, the C's lost their last 2 and all. I think I was saying that wrong. They're still a game behind the New York Knicks with the number 2 seed at least and all too as well. Still 4.5 behind the Pistons at least. And all. If they ever want to cool off a little bit, there's a chance for the 1 seed and all. I don't see it for them at least and all too as well. But like I said though, half game up on the Raptors and all too as well. Like I think you guys saw, if not, they got the games. Yeah, they got the Heat coming up tomorrow. Then they got the Hawks coming to Atlanta and all too as well. I would be more excited to go to that game, but I'm not gonna lie. I want to sit at home and watch some football. Not even gonna lie, at least in all two as well. But then the Pistons coming up, Pacers next week and all two as well. Nets, Bulls, Blazers, Hawks, Kings, Bucks and Bucks and Mavericks going into February at least in all two as well. So the way they're playing offensively, obviously tops in the league. I think still offensive rating wise and all two as well. Kind of teetering top 15 with defense and all two as well. So we'll see. Jaylen Brown didn't play in that Pacer game and all two as well. So we'll see if that makes a difference and all two as well. Kind of has been okay since his 50-point game against the Clippers and all. Let me recollect. Yeah, it's been okay since the 50-point game against the Clippers and all too. So I feel like he showed out a little bit in the Raptor game, right? I'm trying to remember off the top. Obviously can't, so we're looking. 25 points. Yeah, he's been okay. He's been all right since the Clipper game where he dropped 50 in that game and all too as well. So hopefully he can get himself back and all. They just rested him for lower back spasms and all too as well. So I kind of think that kind of attributes to it a little bit too as well. I feel like he's looked sluggish a bit and all too as well. So we'll see how he comes out tomorrow against the Heat and all too as well. But yeah, if they're able to win, just one half of their games and all, if they go 500 going into February, I still think they're a top 4 seed in this conference and all too as well. And obviously the talks of Jason Tatum are going to brew up a little bit more and all too as well. So we'll see. Just want to do a quick check-in and all two as well. Not too concerned about their last two and all two as well. If the number 2 seed can lose 4, if not 5 games straight and still be at the 2 seed, I think we'll be all right. Especially with the schedule coming up and all too as well. So it looks like I'll end it there for the podcast today, or the recording today, however you want to call it and all. I got it all blank and all. Kind of looks whack. It's the Twitter feed. But again, if you appreciate you guys listening, if you guys are on the YouTube side, please press on the subscribe button to help support the podcast and all. And again, if you guys are on the podcast platform side, like Apple, Spotify, and Overcast, add us to your library for any past, present, and future episodes, and leave us a rating to help support the podcast and all too as well. Definitely be shooting up sometime next week. I don't know, that sounded so wrong. Definitely will be sending up a recording for sometime next week and all too. I don't know what I was trying to say there. So you hear from me next week and all. Hopefully, it's off a Pats win and all too as well. But we will see. We will see and all too as well. But yeah, you guys have a great one. Definitely catch up soon.